Maddie Brown has officially reached her breaking point, and this time she's not holding back. If Christine thought calling Maddie dramatic would stir the pot, she clearly underestimated just how far Maddie is willing to go when pushed too far. Because now, Maddie's taking it public and she's flat out calling Christine a liar. And we're not talking about a vague, passive-aggressive post or some cryptic quote here. No, Maddie went straight for the truth. No filter, no hesitation, and no sugarcoating. After years of staying relatively quiet and trying to keep the peace, it looks like the gloves are officially off. What's fascinating here is that Maddie has always been one of the calmer, more grounded members of the Brown family, someone who seemed to rise above the drama, while everyone else played the reality TV game. But clearly, everyone has a breaking point, and Christine just found Maddie's. Now, this feud isn't just about a comment or a misunderstanding. This feels deeper, layered with years of tension, resentment, and emotional exhaustion. And for Maddie to step into the spotlight and directly call Christine out, that's not small. That's years of frustration boiling over. Stay tuned, boss, because the next part is where things start to explode publicly. Would you like me to continue with the next segment? The gloves are off, the filter's gone, and Maddie Brown is done playing nice. She's serving up scalding hot truth about Kody and Robyn, the kind that's been simmering for years and you can tell something inside her finally snapped. This isn't your run-of-the-mill cryptic family subtweet or a half-hearted shade post. No, this is Maddie unloading years of pent-up frustration, betrayal, and exhaustion for the world to see. The tone? Controlled, but cutting. The message? Crystal clear. She's not scared of the truth anymore. For years, Maddie stayed quiet while her dad and Robyn spun their narrative, painting themselves as victims, misunderstood, or just trying to keep the family together. But the way Maddie's speaking now, it's clear she's over that facade. You can practically feel the generational tension finally boiling over, and Maddie saying what so many of the other Brown kids have been too exhausted or too loyal to say. This isn't just family drama anymore. This feels like a reckoning. Maddie Brown isn't hinting anymore. She's lighting the match and watching the truth burn. And this time, she's naming names. No cryptic posts, no subtle jabs. She's coming straight for the source of the chaos, Robyn Brown. That's right. Both Kody and Robyn are in the hot seat, but today's fire? It's aimed squarely at Robyn. The so-called peacemaker of the family, the woman who spent years insisting she just wants everyone to get along, is finally getting called out for the manipulation that's been hiding behind the tears. And it makes you wonder, why now? Why is Maddie finally pulling the curtain back after all this time? It's giving final straw energy. Like she's spent years biting her tongue, trying to play nice, trying not to rock the boat, and then one too many lies pushed her over the edge. You can feel that shift. This isn't about petty family drama anymore. This is about truth, accountability, and years of pent-up resentment finally spilling out into the open. Maddie's tone says it all. She's done protecting anyone who doesn't deserve it. Maddie's done playing along. The silence, the loyalty, the pretending, all of it's gone. The daughter who spent her entire life watching her family crumble, one argument, one lie, one manipulation at a time, has finally said what everyone's been thinking but too afraid to say out loud. Robyn Brown is not innocent. For years, Robyn's tears and trembling voice have painted her as the fragile peacemaker, the one who just wants everyone to love each other. But Maddie's breaking that illusion wide open. She's calling it what it is: control, manipulation, and emotional chaos wrapped in a victim narrative. Because at this point, it's hard to deny it. Robyn isn't the storm's victim. She's the eye of it. And yet, she's still standing there, umbrella in hand, pretending it's just bad weather while she's the one summoning the thunder. This is Maddie stripping the mask off. No more careful phrasing. No more protecting her dad's favorite wife. Just raw honesty from someone who's lived through the fallout of Robyn's innocence. What Maddie said about Robyn, buckle up, because it's savage. The kind of truth that cuts deep, not because it's cruel, but because it's real. Maddie didn't come to sugarcoat or soften the blow. She came to set the record straight. And for Robyn, this is going to sting. Every word Maddie's saying hits right where it hurts, the cracks in that perfect wife, perfect mom, perfect victim image that Robyn spent years protecting. Maddie's not just calling her out, she's pulling the receipts, holding them up, and saying, here, this is who she really is. The energy is raw, it's fed up, and it's long overdue. This isn't a misunderstanding, this isn't bitterness, this is the result of years of manipulation, gaslighting, and false narratives finally collapsing in real time. So, look out, Robyn. Because if this is just the beginning of Maddie's truth-telling era, things are about to get messy, and this time, there's no hiding behind the tears. What Maddie said yesterday, that was all about Cody. But today? Today, it's all about Robyn. And make no mistake, this isn't some vague, passive-aggressive family drama moment. This is targeted. When Maddie said that Kody and Robyn bring chaos, she wasn't just venting. She was talking about years of manipulation dressed up as miscommunication. The sell and stay and other tay with where to go to make you ass. Kind of twisted emotional spin Robyn has perfected, where she plays the victim, cries confusion, and somehow always walks away blameless. You can practically hear the subtext in Maddie's post. The restraint in her tone is almost louder than the words themselves. It's the kind of thing you write when you've said it 100 times behind closed doors, but now you're done whispering. Now, you're ready for the world to hear it too. This is Maddie calling out the gaslight, the rewriting, the fake tears, the constant shifting of blame. And for the first time, she's not just hinting at it, she's naming it for what it is, a cycle of chaos that always starts with Robyn. Maddie is sick and tired of the lies, and honestly, who can blame her? After years of watching her family get torn apart from the inside, she's finally saying what every Brown kid has been thinking but too polite to voice. Nobody trusts Robyn. And really, can you blame them? Even Cody himself once admitted in a rare moment of honesty that his kids have serious anger toward Robyn. He said they just feel like Robyn is always kind of waiting to say when they say something or do something, she's going to twist it all around. That's not coming from internet gossip. That's coming straight from Cody's own mouth. And that says everything you need to know about the dynamic here. Because this is what happens when manipulation becomes the family language. The kids learn to tiptoe, to guard their words, to brace for impact because anything they say can and will be flipped, repackaged, and used against them later. So when Maddie speaks out now, it's not just anger, it's exhaustion. It's a lifetime of trying to navigate a relationship with a woman who always seems to twist the truth until she's the victim and everyone else is the villain. And let's give credit where it's due. Janelle deserves a shout out for setting the stage, because if you connect the dots, every one of Robyn's so-called misunderstandings leads straight back to one thing, Robyn's version of reality. It's almost impressive, really. Robyn has this magical ability to rewrite history in real time, to retell every event in a way that makes her look saintly, fragile, and oh so misunderstood, while everyone else comes off cold, cruel, or just plain ungrateful. Remember when she cried about wanting family unity? And somehow every single decision that came after conveniently benefited her or her kids? Shocking, right? Or how she preaches about peace, then turns around and whispers to Cody that the other wives are being mean to her? Classic move. It's not communication, it's emotional gaslighting dressed up as vulnerability. And now, Maddie's had it. She's not mincing words, she's not protecting feelings, she's calling BS on the whole charade. Years of bottled up frustration, confusion, and family tension are finally spilling out, and Maddie's saying what every viewer has known deep down. Robyn's tears have power. And she's used them like a weapon. And there it is, the bombshell moment that sent shockwaves through the entire Sister Wives fandom. A fan asked Maddie a pretty innocent question. Has Robyn really tried to make any attempt at reaching out to you? And Maddie didn't hesitate. No long explanation, no sugarcoating. She just dropped the truth like a mic. Robyn is a liar. The end. If her mouth is moving, she is manipulating in such a calculated way that you will not know up from down. Truly, she's a liar to an extent I have yet to see replicated. Holy hell! That's not shade, that's a public execution of Robyn's credibility. Maddie didn't just call her dishonest. She accused her of being strategically manipulative, the kind of person who can twist any situation so perfectly that reality itself starts to blur. And honestly, it tracks. For years, fans have watched Robyn play the "I'm just trying to bring peace" card, all while stirring the pot behind the scenes. But for Maddie to say it directly, that's a generational call-out, the kids finally confirming what everyone has suspected all along. Exactly, this is no longer the quiet, let's keep the peace Maddie we used to know. This is Maddie in full truth-teller mode, and the gloves are buried 6 feet under. You can feel the shift in her tone. She's not emotional, she's not nostalgic, she's done. What we're hearing now is furious clarity, the kind that only comes when someone has finally pieced the puzzle together and realized, oh, this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was manipulation. Maybe Cody said one too many things on camera. Maybe Robyn spun one too many tales about just wanting family unity, while quietly throwing everyone else under the bus. But whatever it was, this was the breaking point. And the detail that Maddie doesn't even call him dad anymore? That's huge. Once that title is stripped away, there's no going back. It means the bond has been severed on an emotional level. Watching Kody and Robyn rewrite her family's story on national television must feel like watching someone graffiti over your memories. It's not storytelling, it's vandalism. Meanwhile, Robyn's on camera crying, pretending not to understand why everyone dislikes her while carefully skipping over the years of hurt she helped cause. That's not confusing, that's damage control. And Maddie's having none of it. Exactly, that's the classic Robyn deflection monologue, polished, practiced, and dripping with self-pity. Every time the family finally holds her accountable, she leans on that same tired line. I just wish they'd stop talking about me. No, Robyn. They're not talking about you because they're obsessed. They're talking about you because you were the common denominator in every single fracture that family suffered. It's not coincidence. It's cause and effect. And you can bet Kody and Robyn are absolutely stewing right now. Because for the first time, one of their kids, one of the respectful ones, one who used to stay quiet, is saying out loud what everyone's whispered for years. They can't control this narrative anymore. Not with tears, not with talking heads, not with poor me confessionals. Maddie has flipped the script, and this time it's their names trending not as victims, but as villains. Exactly. This is the breaking point. Maddie's not angry over one fight or one interview. This is years of pent-up frustration finally boiling over. Because Robyn's greatest trick isn't her tears. It's pretending that she's the victim of the mess she quietly orchestrated. Every time the truth starts to surface, Robyn gives us the trembling voice, the shaky lip, the I just don't understand why they hate me routine. And for a long time, people bought it. Even some of the family did. But Maddie, she's done pretending not to see the strings being pulled behind that act. She's lived through the fallout, watching her parents' marriage collapse, while Robyn sat center stage, rewriting the story to make herself look noble. And now Maddie's saying what no one else will. This wasn't an accident. Robyn's innocence is her armor, her manipulation, her entire survival strategy. So when Maddie speaks now, she's not just airing out old drama, she's dismantling the mythology of Saint Robyn, piece by piece. Because behind every tear, every why me, there's a trail of burned bridges and broken trust that Robyn never takes responsibility for. Exactly, and that's the twisted loop Kody and Robyn keep everyone trapped in. Because let's be real, when Maddie says she doesn't want any more chaos from Kody and Robyn, she's not being dramatic. She's talking about years of manipulation, guilt trips, and emotional warfare that turned every family gathering into a battlefield. And the wild part? Robyn's managed to pull this off for over a decade because of how she packages her chaos. She's not the loud, explosive type. No, she's the quiet storm, the one who destroys reputations with a trembling lip and a tear rolling down her cheek. She weaponizes fragility. Every sigh, every why are they being so mean to me is a calculated move to shift blame and make herself the victim. It's psychological sleight of hand. By the time she's done, everyone forgets what she did wrong and somehow she's the one getting an apology. That's not just manipulation, that's emotional chess. And Kody? He's been her most loyal pawn. Because remember what he said after the whole COVID mess? That his boys needed to apologize to him and to Robyn. Especially to Robyn, the most precious person in the family who's given her heart and soul and been disrespected. Translation? Kody expects everyone to bend the knee to Robyn's version of reality. And Maddie? She's officially done kneeling. Here's the twist. Robyn still thinks she's the victim. Even after years of wreckage, broken trust, and public fallout, she's still playing the misunderstood peacemaker card. The same woman who's been pulling emotional strings from the shadows now wants sympathy because the puppets finally cut their own cords. Robyn has spent over a decade crafting this illusion, the soft-spoken wife just trying to hold the family together while everyone else falls apart. But Maddie's calling BS on all of it. Because if Robyn was really the glue, why did the family shatter the moment she showed up? Let's be real, Robyn didn't walk into a broken home. She broke a functioning one. Every tear she cried became ammunition. Every Kody, they're being mean to me, became justification for him to distance himself from his own kids. And now the fallout is complete. Kody's isolated, the kids are gone, the wives are done. And still, Robyn sits there wide-eyed and confused, wondering why the family hates her. It's almost poetic, the master manipulator finally choking on her own script. So when Maddie snaps and says, enough, that's not anger, that's liberation. She's cutting through years of gaslighting, rewriting the story, and forcing the truth into the light. Robyn spent a decade building this empire of lies, and now, one post from Maddie might just bring the whole thing crashing down. Exactly, watch Kody in full guard dog mode whenever Robyn's name comes up. You can practically see the switch flip. Someone mentions Robyn, and suddenly he's not a dad anymore. He's her bodyguard, her public defender, her attack dog. And he doesn't even realize how transparent it looks. Robyn doesn't have to lift a finger. She's already trained him to do the emotional heavy lifting for her. Every time Cody lashes out at one of his kids, every time he blames Janelle or Christine for not being loyal, it's Robyn pulling those strings behind the scenes. She plants the seed that someone doesn't respect her, and then Cody waters it with rage until another relationship dies. That's not love. That's control. And Maddie sees it now, clear as day. She's done pretending that this is just miscommunication or hurt feelings. It's not. It's manipulation dressed up as martyrdom. When Maddie says she started reading parenting books in 2020 and never looked back, that's a line in the sand moment. That's her realizing healthy relationships don't operate like this. They don't revolve around guilt. They don't demand loyalty through silence. And they definitely don't ask you to apologize for wanting boundaries. So now, when Cody charges in like Robyn's pit bull, it's not intimidating, it's embarrassing. Because the more he defends her, the more obvious it becomes that Robyn doesn't need protecting. She needs exposure. And Maddie's doing just that, exposing the pattern, the manipulation, and the false sainthood. The gloves are off, the truth is out, and for the first time in a long time, the power dynamic isn't in Cody and Robyn's hands anymore. Exactly that old keep sweet and stay quiet era of the Brown family? It's done. Maddie's post didn't just hit a nerve, it ripped one open. You can feel the tension, even in Cody's tone. Suddenly, he's trying to rewrite the story again, painting Robyn as this fragile dove who's been unfairly attacked by everyone else. And let's just pause there for a second. Because the idea that Robyn, the same woman who's been steering the emotional ship for over a decade, is somehow this helpless victim who Cody has to protect from the assholes? Please, that's not protection. That's performance. He says, I just put up with it. No, Cody, you don't put up with anything. You defend, deflect, and destroy every single person who refuses to bow down to Robyn's narrative. You've spent years weaponizing loyalty and calling it love. And Maddie's post clearly hit right where it hurts, in the ego. You can tell because instead of sitting quietly, the whole dynamic starts shaking. There's panic in the air. Because once one brown kid breaks the silence, the rest start realizing they can too. That's why this feels big. This is not just a spicy Instagram moment. This is a generational shift. The Brown kids are done carrying their parents' dysfunction in silence. They're done pretending that Robyn's broken dove act excuses all the manipulation. Maddie cracked the dam. And when that old guard of silence finally collapses, it's not going to be quiet. It's going to be loud, it's going to be public, and it's going to change the narrative. Forever. That's the irony, isn't it? After all the tears, the loyalty speeches, and the years of Cody standing on his soapbox defending his one true love, the truth didn't come from tabloids, producers, or outsiders. It came from his own kids. The OG Brown kids are officially done pretending. They're no longer tiptoeing around feelings or family politics, they're ripping the curtain clean off. And what's underneath? Exactly what everyone's been whispering for years. Robyn isn't the misunderstood saint of the story. She's the common denominator in every fracture this family has endured. And that, honestly, is poetic justice, because for over a decade, Cody fought tooth and nail to make Robyn untouchable. Every conflict, every falling out, somehow circled back to everyone else being unfair to poor Robyn. He sacrificed relationships, destroyed his credibility, and isolated half his kids, all in the name of protecting her image. But here's the twist. The very people he silenced are the ones finally speaking. The ones who grew up watching it all unfold are now calling it what it always was, manipulation dressed up as martyrdom. Cody's still out here wondering why his family won't accept Robyn. But the reality is simple. You can't force connection when trust has been systematically destroyed. The kids see it now. They've lived it. And they're not buying the fairy tale anymore. It's not rebellion. It's a revelation. The truth was always there. Cody just refused to look. Cody's been using that "I'll be a father to those who let me" line like it's some kind of deep, noble statement, when in reality, it's just another cop-out. What he really means is, I'll only show up for the kids who worship Robyn. That's not fatherhood. That's emotional blackmail dressed up as wisdom. And the irony? Robyn was supposed to be the savior of this family, the calm in the storm, the woman who'd bring everyone together. But what actually happened? She didn't save the Browns, she isolated them. She didn't love Cody the most. She just figured out the one thing that could keep him wrapped around her finger, his ego. Robyn's been feeding Cody's delusion for years, telling him he's the misunderstood hero, the patriarch who just wants peace, while quietly steering that ship straight into the rocks. And now, the wreckage is everywhere. Maddie's post is the warning shot that the spell is breaking. The blind loyalty, the scripted sympathy, the crocodile tears, it's all losing its power. Because once the kids start speaking up, you can't spin that into a TLC redemption arc. You can't edit around the truth when it's coming straight from the people who lived it. And you know Cody's furious right now. You can practically hear the veins popping in his forehead as he watches his own daughter say publicly what the rest of us have been yelling at our screens for years, that he's not the victim, Robyn's not the saint, and the rest of the family isn't buying the act anymore. Exactly, that's so Cody! You can almost picture it, right? He's pacing around that beige Arizona house, face red, arms flailing, muttering something like, "Oh, go ahead, Maddie, tell the world, tell your version. Then go hang out with your buddy Christine, since you're both so perfect." It's classic Cody deflection. He's not listening, he's performing. Instead of sitting with the truth, he turns it into another pity party, another monologue about betrayal. Because that's what Cody does best. He rewrites reality. So he's the misunderstood father, instead of the man who lost control of his own family. And deep down, you know this burns him. Not just because Maddie called him out, but because she did it publicly. Cody's ego doesn't survive well outside the family bubble, and now the world gets to see what his kids really think. Meanwhile, Robyn's probably in the background, doing her signature wide-eyed whisper, "Why would she say that? I just don't understand why everyone hates me." And that right there, that's the loop they've been stuck in for years. Cody gets angry, Robyn gets weepy, everyone else gets blamed. But now Maddie's not playing that game anymore and it shows. You know he's pissed. You know both of them are. Sorry, Cody. Sorry, Robyn. Sorry the whole world finally sees your delusion. Sorry that this little dose of truth just wrecked your happy couple rebrand. My bad. Too bad. Honestly, I hope they're both watching, because the Brown kids, they are done. Done protecting Cody's ego, done babysitting Robyn's image, done pretending to keep the peace. No, that era is over. And I swear, this is only the beginning. Maddie said she's had enough of this circus. And you know what? She's right. Because it is a circus, one run by two ringmasters of manipulation. And finally, someone's pulling back the tent flap and saying, no more. So yeah, I'm proud of Maddie. Proud that she's saying it plain, proud that she's done sugarcoating. After years of gaslighting, guilt-tripping, and those endless crocodile tears, it's about damn time somebody called it what it is. A performance, a pattern, and one big messy lie. So buckle up, guys, this isn't the end. This is the start of the unraveling. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next one because trust me, it's about to get real. Oh yeah? Tell the whole world. Tell your version. Then go hang out with your buddy Christine. Each describes Cody in 3 words. Just 3? Okay, deadbeat dad. Oh wait, that's 2. Fine. Dead. Beat. Dad. Because let's be honest, you haven't seen half your kids in years. And that's not loyalty. That's not leadership. That's cowardice. And you know, oh what, Cody? You're not hurting Robyn anymore. You're hurting your family. No one else. Why are you angry with your children, Cody? You haven't seen 2 of them for 5 months. 5 months. And you still sit there pretending like you're the victim? Come on. I'm gonna move forward, you said. I'm gonna find happiness and joy outside of my family. Translation, you gave up. Each describes Cody in 3 words? Just 3? Okay, deadbeat dad. Sorry. That's 2. Fine, dead. Beat. Dad. Because most of the kids don't have a relationship with him anymore. You haven't seen one of them in over a year. Deadbeat. This isn't about plural marriage anymore. This is about a deadbeat dad who lost his family and still don't understand why. Deadbeat. He's selfish. Detached, confused by the reality he created. It's like watching a man get divorced, disappear, and then act shocked when nobody calls. A deadbeat dad, speaking from his own self-made prison, asking the question we've all been asking for years, what went wrong? And that's the truth Maddie, Janelle, and the rest of the OG kids are finally saying out loud. It's over, Cody. The facade's done. This is about accountability. This is about truth. This is about the fallout. So if you're tired of the gaslighting, the fake tears, the endless blame, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join the conversation right here on Soul Sister Wives, where we break down the drama, the lies, and the real story behind the Brown family every single week. Because of this story, it's only just getting started.